So welcome to today's class. I am really excited about it because we are going to measure our progress today. And it's upper back that is in the focus. So why do we need to work with the upper back when we have pelvic floor issues? Because posture. I think all of you know by now that posture is really important when it comes to pelvic floor issues. If we have a hunching upper back, this will cause misalignment in the diaphragm, and the connection with the diaphragm and the pelvic floor will be affected. So all of you know how important breathing is when it comes to healing pelvic floor, and also for posture and breathing will have a direct impact on the pelvic floor. So we take about 25,000 breaths during 24 hours. It's a lot of breathing. And optimally, we want the diaphragm in here and the pelvic floor to have an optimal alignment, because when that happens, on the exhale, both will move up. On the inhale, both will move down in synchronicity. If we have, for example, hunching back, upper back, this will cause the diaphragm to be tilted more like this. And when the diaphragm then moves in a very restricted way, it may be that the pelvic floor is also stuck and can't move. And we really need that subtle movement in the pelvic floor in our daily lives to be able to have a healthy pelvic floor at all, because that will increase circulation and activity in the pelvic floor without like forcing or straining or tense the pelvic floor. So that is why the upper back is so crucial to work with. And we are going to do that now. So we're going to lay down on our bellies first. And I want you to have a towel, a slightly bigger size. So we're going to do block therapy. Probably a few of you have already done that. We need it this size. We also need a tennis ball or a smaller towel, like this. So one bigger towel and one smaller towel. And we just need them for later, so we can leave them for now. And we're going to come down into a lying down belly position. So we're going to let the feet stretch and really find a nice alignment here with the pelvis, the rib cage, and we're going to place our hands under our shoulders, looking down toward the mat. So take your time to come into this position. See if you can take your shoulders away from your ears. And from here, we want to start to press the upper side of the feet down into the floor, starting to activate our legs so that the knees are floating. So they are not connected to the mat, or at least they are slightly off the mat. So we want those active legs and feet. And from here, slowly, we're going to do a back bend. And I don't want you to strain yourself or come, really, really far here, but I just want you to take a check-in how far you can go without straining or forcing. And you can help with your hands and arms, and you start to stretch them out. And whenever this happens, or maybe like your head is going forward, you should stop and just lower the shoulders and take your chin back. And whatever place you come to here that feels natural to be in, like, of course, you have an activated back, but it's not straining, it's not too much effort. Just see how high you can lift. still pressing the top of the feet down into the mat, activating your legs. And just take 2 more breaths here. So maybe you are higher, maybe you're even straightening your arms, still keeping your legs very active and your shoulders away from your ears. So just notice the sensations in your back, in your breath, and then slowly exhale, lower down. Okay, so now let's come to all fours and we're gonna fold the big towel. So we are going to fold it into like a block shape, like think a yoga block size. So I am doing it in the middle and then in the middle again. And then one more time. Like that. And for the size of my towel, I guess 3 or 4 more folds will be good. So I'm going to start with 3 and just see how that turns out. I think it's a little too big. We're going to start to place it on the belly. And you see, this is really covering the whole belly. It won't penetrate as deep if it's too big. If you already now know that this is challenging for you, maybe you've done this type of practice before, you can use the small towel and do exactly the same thing. And actually, for some people, in the beginning of this work, it's fascia work. We're going to melt the fascia on the front side to be able to open up more in the back bending. So you place the towel and make sure it's kind of flat and nice where you're going to put your belly. And you want to place the belly button in the middle of the towel, approximately. It's not like you can't do anything wrong here except for creating a lot of pain for yourself. Always back off. Back off if you feel any type of pain. So slowly come on to the towel with your belly button and you can adjust. Maybe you feel like, oh, I need to come up more so that the towel is more toward the pubic bone or anything. Then please go ahead and adjust. And then stay up on your your elbows. Close your eyes and then slowly connect with your breath. In through the nose and out through the nose. Deep into the bottom of the lungs, to the bottom of the rib cage, to the front side, to the back side. And if you at any point cannot breathe in a relaxed way, back off. Take a smaller towel. Don't use anything at all. Just lay on the floor. That is sometimes what we need. So fascia won't melt if we force it, if we're straining it. We need to relax. We need to melt even the rest of the body to be able to melt the fascia layers. Och så långsamt bara kommer ner. Lägger pannan på händerna om det känns bra. Eller stannar uppe på armbågarna går också jättebra. Mjuknar i ansiktet. Blir tung i kroppen. Kommer stanna här ungefär 1 minut till. Så vi behöver 3 minuter i en sån här typ av position för att komma åt. Oh, I'm so sorry. I started to speak Swedish. I'm so sorry. Okay, so we need to relax to be able to melt the fascia. And if you feel comfortable putting your forehead on your hands all the way down, please do. Just relaxing your jaw, your face. And continue with the deep breathing. So you can think lateral breathing here. Soft, gentle breathing with no sound. We are not doing like a breathing exercise here. We're just deepening the breathing. And if you at any point feel that you are experiencing increasing of symptoms or discomfort, I also recommend you to do this in a different, more gentle way. So next exhale, slowly coming all the way up on your elbows. And now we're going to roll to the side. Take the big towel out, put it away. We're going to use it again. So try to keep the shape. And then we're going to take the small towel or a tennis ball, or like if you have like a fascia ball with the spikes, you can take that. Otherwise, we're going to try to fold the small towel to kind of the size of a tennis ball. So I'm just folding it in the center a few times. And then here, when I have this shape, I am going to roll it. So I'll roll it tight, nice and tight, as much as I can. And now we're going to put this towel here on the big bone in the middle of the rib cage. You can see, maybe you even want to place it in between your breasts or more towards the collarbones. And you can adjust that also once you've gotten into the position. So coming all the way down to the belly again, and just place it somewhere to start. And again, I recommend you to keep your arms as support at first. And try to find a kind of comfortable place here. So it may be that we are, creating some discomfort, which is okay. This usually what happens over time is that this discomfort lessens, it decreases. And if it doesn't, if it escalates, that's also a sign of you are pushing too hard. So see if you can just back off if that happens. Otherwise, see if you can breathe into the towel. Inhaling gently, directing your breath at this point in your chest. So usually what happens is that if we are hunching in our backs, and even if we're not, it doesn't really matter, because in our society with all the screens and phones and stuff, we will start to make the fascia become like dense and hardened on the front side of the body, and too much stretched on the back side. That is what generally happens, because the fascia on the back is trying to keep an upright posture, but our shoulders are moving forward. We're holding our phones, looking down, looking in a screen. So this will help to melt adhesions from bad posture. Good. 3 more breaths. On the last exhale, moving slowly and gently, especially this position actually can feel kind of almost painful to get out of if you got deep into that fascia on this bone. Fascia usually grips onto the bone, so especially bones are more painful to melt fascia. Okay, so we put the small towel or the ball aside, and now we take the big one again. And the big one, now we're going to turn to our back, and we're going to try to place the big one just underneath the shoulder blades, the tips of the shoulder blades down here. So it's usually kind of where a bra or like a sports top would be. So you should be able to feel almost that the towel is kind of coming in under these tips of the shoulder blades when you have that position. And sometimes we need to also put something on the back side of the head. So maybe you can have the small towel close by, so you're able to reach it once you've come all the way down onto the big towel. So see if you can slowly just lay down, or if the floor feels too far away or you feel your chin is coming like this, then you take the small towel and just fold it kind of in any way and make a small pillow so that the neck can be in nice alignment with the spine. And you can keep your knees bent, or you can stretch your legs. And see if you need to adjust. Maybe you want to push the towel slightly upwards or downwards to have that nice opening of the back side of your body and front side. So close your eyes and see if you can really fully relax for each exhale you take. If you're yawning or sighing, that's a good sign that you are starting to relax your nervous system and working gently with your body. So please stay in this position about 2 more minutes. Nice. See if you can take 3 really deep breaths, last breaths for this position. And then really slowly on the last exhale, we're going to roll off the towel and come to the stomach again. So to the belly. So just take away the towel, put it aside, coming all the way to your front side again. And as a last small test here, just place your hands again under your shoulders, align your head and neck, activate your legs and your feet into the mat, and just slowly start to lift off. And, you know, maybe you can't see much change in or progress in how far you can come. But I do believe that probably this feels different in your body, more accessible. Maybe it's easier to still breathe, even though you're doing a really active back bend. So just stay here for 2 more breaths. And then slowly, on the last exhale, release. And if you want to rest here, you can just take your hands one on top of the other, place your forehead on top of your hands, and take a few deep breaths. Well done, everyone, and thank you so much for coming to the class. I hope to see you soon again. Bye.